Okay. All right. As soon as we went live, it tried to reconnect. So I hope we're live now. Yay! Gotta love the internet. I'm in the room with the tower. I don't know what to tell you. All right. We are doing Living the Science of Mind. Let's do the housekeeping really quickly. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. The, hello, Asterix. He'll be right back with the water dish. Hey, baby. We don't want to fill your food bowl up because, Dante's in here. Hey, sweetheart. Hi. How are you? I'm live talking to a cat. My apologies. Info@creativelife.org is the constant contact email. It's one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. And the most important thing about it is a blind CC, which means nobody's going to see your email. You're not going to end up on anybody else's email list because of us. The last part is the social medias. The reason we mention the social medias is because we don't monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to like, subscribe, follow, share, comment with pages, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. It bumps us in the algorithms. We think we have good to share, and it's just an easy and free way you can help us out to do that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So there is that. All right, that should be everything. Poor Asterix is sitting there going, but the food dish is empty, the water dish is gone. I'm impressed she's staying out though. All right, so at least I know she's healthy and alive. Cat sitting is interesting. Okay, so I started calling this the FAQ, frequently asked questions, because that's what I think it is. I think that I think people read the textbook, came to the lectures, and they had questions. And so Ernest was answering the questions, which eventually evolved into the at-home course, which used to be in the back of the Science of Mind magazine. And you could just mail off for it, and they'd mail you a lesson a week for 48 weeks. So what they've done now is they actually did bind it into... it took 6 books, and I think it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Go to the Science of Mind archives website, and from there, take him with you, because he's going to harass her. Thank you. Sorry, Tom just took Dante out of the room because Tom filled up Asterix's food bowl, and Dante's just going to be obnoxious, because he is. I love him, but he's obnoxious. So go to the Science of Mind Archives website, go to their book list, and use their Amazon link, because if you use their Amazon link, they get some of the money back. So, and there are other great books that you can get through the archives. So please check out the Science of Mind archives. Reverend Kathy does works very hard to keep the archives up and running and, doing all that. She fundraises like nobody's business. Any little help we can give her, great. All right, so that's my pet theory about this, because what they did was they pulled all but 2 of the essays from the at-home course for this book. Now, the article that we're doing today, I think it's a 3-part. The title of it is The Principle of Divine Connection. And then kind of in the middle of the page, it says God and Company. And then on another page, it says Lifting the Load. So I'm not sure if Lifting the Load is part of this. So I'm just going to do until I get to God and Company, and we'll do God and Company tomorrow. For 2 reasons. 1, it's kind of long. And 2, the longer I talk, the more likely I'll cough, and nobody needs to hear that. I'm so over this cold, which I actually am mostly over the cold. So, but yeah. All right. I'm going to get a drink of water just to make sure. Turn my light on. Got my trusty highlighter ready. And we are going to read the Principle of Divine Guidance. Nothing is more important than the realization that since we are surrounded by infinite intelligence, we are immersed in limitless wisdom. Emerson tells us that human history is the working of the infinite mind on this planet. We are, of necessity, inlets to the divine mind. But since we are individuals, we become outlets to the degree that we permit ourselves to become. Okay, so we are inlets of the divine mind, and we become outlets to the degree that we allow. Okay, we are surrounded by the divine wisdom, love, and intelligence, and still lack divine guidance. Not that we lack the principle of divine guidance, but for that is the gift of God forever made and forever delivered, but that we lack the perception of this guidance and its operation through us. Okay, so the good news is it exists. The bad news is we're not paying attention. Dante. Tom, he's in here eating her food. Principles themselves do nothing in particular for the individual until they are specialized or used. The desert has two S's, desert has one. Apparently I have sugar on my mind. Okay, let's start this over. The principles of themselves do nothing in particular for the individual until they are specialized or used. The desert is made to blossom as the rose when people cooperate with the principle of productivity latent in the desert. Experience has taught us that this cooperation must be conscious and definite. If you want consistent outcomes, the cooperation must be consistent, conscientious, and definite. Moreover, it has taught us that we must understand the law with which we are going to cooperate before we can draw upon it for special results. See, not results, because we're always going to get results, but if we want specific, special results, we need to know what we're doing. We are surrounded by a principle of mind and intelligence, which will become divine guidance to us, provided we permit it to do so. Our part is to realize that divine guidance is a principle and to accept this principle as operating in our everyday life. The answer to every problem is in the problem itself. Interesting. It is usually so self-evident that it becomes, its very obviousness conceals it. You okay, Asterix? So, divine guidance is ours for the asking, and no matter how crude that asking may be, or may have been in the history of religious evolution, there has always been an answer. God has answered every request at the level of the mentality from which the request is made. That right there is very, 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 very important. God answers at the level of the mentality that we ask. So, hang on. When the scientist listens, the artist imagines, the mathematician calculates, or the poet waits for the muse to guide their fancy into word pictures, all are praying for divine guidance. Each, in their own sphere of action, receives as much guidance as they are capable of perceiving. We talk about that cup of acceptance, and it's the same thing with guidance. It is all about what we're willing to accept. Why not, then, consciously specialize this law of divine guidance? For surely this would be a practical thing to do. It is not enough to believe that divine guidance can guide. We must know that divine intelligence is guiding. We must know that there are no mistakes in the divine plan, and we must know that we are some part of the universal scheme of things. According to our theory, it is not enough merely to know this. For while we understand that law is mind in action, and that there is a universal law of cause and effect, We know that the same law working for us is inhibited or accelerated in its action through our faith and acceptance of it. It can only do for us what it can do through us, and so it requires our cooperation. Indeed, this is one of the secrets of this science. Sorry. Indeed, this is... Oh, I already read that sentence. Oh, well. Indeed, this is one of the secrets of the science, and it is really no secret at all. For experience has taught us that this is true of every law of nature. We must understand a law before we can make conscious use of it. And if we want to make good use of it, we need to make conscious uses of it, so we need to understand it. It's a whole feedback loop there. Just like when Jesse says it works by not working, same thing here. We must specialize any law which we wish consciously to use, and the principle of divine guidance is no exception to this general rule. We must believe that there is a divine guidance. We must affirm that there is a divine guidance. And we must deny every tendency to disbelieve in divine guidance. If law is mind in action, and if we specialize this law through the activity of our thought, which we most certainly do, then we must consciously know that we are daily guided and directed into right action. We must know that there is an intelligence which goes before us and makes our way plain and immediate. Whenever any problem confronts you, take it into the silence of your own contemplation and declare that there is no problem, that you already know the answer. Dissolve the belief in the problem and announce the belief in the answer. Mentally act as though the problem were an arrangement trying to convince you, an argument trying to convince you that you do not know the answer. And then through the conscious activity of your thought, destroy the argument either by picking it apart a bit at a time until there is nothing left, or by the complete realization that dissipates it as the sun dissipates the mist. When you dissolve the problem and seek divine guidance, you are announcing that there is no problem. Announce that there is a complete answer and that this answer is made known to your mind right now, today. In this way, you wait upon your indwelling Lord, the Supreme One, the Creator and the Sustainer of your destiny. Divine guidance is just as definite a principle in the universe as the law of attraction and repulsion. Your use of the divine guidance must be just as conscious as an architect drawing a plan, just as certain as a mathematician solving a problem, and the answer is just as definite. All right, I'm going to stop there, and we are going to pick up tomorrow with God and Company. Mostly because I don't know that my voice is going to hold out any longer, and I'm not going to stress it out. And then the last part, and I don't know if it's part of that article or is a different one. It's called Lifting the Load. So, but again, each day. We're going to do it each day. All right. Hang on. I'm trying to... I needed a break, and my body went, well, this is how we're going to do it. So, and he's back, and back at her food. He is such a brat. All right, divine guidance. It is available. All you got to do is ask, and then listen. And I like the advice of knowing that there's an answer. You know, everything has some kind of answer. We just got to be open to it. All right. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a take care of yourself day, a drink plenty of water day, a be aware of the heat day, stay out of the sunlight between 10 and 2 day, a do something good for yourself day, whatever that looks like, be it good music, read a good book, watch an interesting TV show, take a nap, take a break, do what you got to do day. A know that you are on the path to healing day. I'm out of words day. A cuddle your fur babies day, even when they're being brats day. A tell somebody you love them day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You're a spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion. No, I already said that. A beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Very important part of that statement. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godly. All right, beloveds. I'm giving up before my voice does. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.